Hello, and thank you for attending this year's Welcome Back Night virtually for our parents. We have a plethora of information in our email, so please pick and choose to go through those as needed. They are all recorded so you can watch those videos as you see fit and when you have time. Although I do highly recommend that you watch them before your children enter the building. Just a few reminders before we begin. There is a waiver from the Archdiocese of Chicago that must be signed and sent in with your child in order for them to start school. So please bring that in. If you have any questions with you about that, you can email me and we'll respond right away about that if you have any concerns. Otherwise, just put them in your children's folder and we will get those sorted out the first day of school. Listed below also is a number of the arrival procedures and videos showing families how to arrive, dismiss, and so I recommend watching those too before Thursday or Friday. So I just want to send a couple of major points before we start the school year. It will be very different from most years, but I think that once our students are in the classrooms and they see the smiling faces of our teachers behind their masks, it will all begin to settle out. I'm very, very confident in our plan. I'm very confident in our staff and that we will provide the safest and cleanest environment that we can during this. So please be assured that we are all of our faculty members who have children are sending them here, and we feel very comfortable about this process. There's been some updates in the last few days, and so I just want to provide those for everybody. Some of the new changes are that if a child displays one symptom of COVID-19, they will have to be sent home. Once they are sent home, there's a list of procedures and steps that go in place. Next to the link on my video is a list of those symptoms and then the processes that will happen. So I'd ask that you look through that. If a family is sent home as a student shows a symptom, we will then also send home siblings as well. That's part of the new state policy, so please be aware. One of the things that we are aware of is that some of these symptoms can very much be related to pre-existing conditions. So if your child has allergies or has a tendency to have a runny nose on Tuesday mornings, whatever it might be, or a history of having a stomachache before math class or before entering PE, please let the nurse know and your homeroom teacher. We will take those into consideration when making a diagnosis and making a decision, but that would be helpful for us to know ahead of time before the school year begins. Also, the number one indicator for us is going to be a temperature. The temperature that we are using with the state guidelines is 100.4 degrees. Students generally raise temperatures at night, so it might be a good idea to check temperatures the night before a student comes to school. But we do ask that you check the temperature before your children arrive at school each morning. You'll see a little more about that in the morning arrival video, but if a student does have a temperature, we will send everyone in the car home, including the family, the siblings, but also if they're carpooling, we will have to send those students that were in the carpool home as well as a precaution. If they don't show any symptoms and they come back the next day, they can be checked, and if they're fine, they can come back into school. But as a precaution that day, if a student is showing a fever in the car, everyone in that car will be sent home. So on those morning routines, it will be important to establish that at home. Checking temperatures before you're ready to go, asking them how they're feeling, if they have any concerns, and if they are or you're concerned that maybe they aren't just feeling their best, it's probably a better decision to keep them home that day. They may just not be in the right mood or they're not feeling great, and whatever it is that they're feeling may be gone the next day. That would be a better decision to keep them home as a precaution for one day, versus the event of them coming into school, we identify them as having a symptom and send them home. Then they're gone for a considerable amount of time or would have to have a COVID test or a doctor's visit. So we're asking to please err on the side of caution. We understand that this may mean that there will be frequent absences this year. We're prepared for that. We want to keep students connected. Our teachers are prepared to keep students connected. We'll be providing additional time after school for students who are absent to connect with their teachers and ask questions on a daily basis to help in that manner. But it really would be detrimental to send a student to school if they were not feeling their best. So we ask that you please err on the side of the caution for the benefit of everyone to keep your child home if you feel that they're not, if they're showing any symptoms of COVID-19. This is going to be and has been really a community effort. which we have been blessed with the community that we have. We have a fantastic community. Our parents, our students are all very committed to St. Michael's School, and that's made our process and our planning much easier than it could have been. Our Dad's Club has been out to help us with creating signage for the parking lot and creating carts for our teachers as they move between classrooms. Our alumni have donated hand sanitizers and cleaning equipment. We've had our FSA creating informative videos for our families. Our students have already been in to help volunteer. Mr. Novotny, Mrs. Novotny's husband, was volunteered to create group dividers along with Mr. Morrissey. And we've had many parents calling to donate cleaning supplies, volunteering, masks for our nurse. So we are very grateful of this community effort that will allow us to have school come Thursday. We have two other points that I just want to touch base on. Our curriculum. We will be spending some time, especially in the beginning of the year, bringing our students back up to speed. While we were engaged in e-learning, we want to make sure that a lot of those key points were not lost over those last 6 months. So there'll be some time as we refresh and review. But we also know that we have to have a tempered approach to this. We don't want to bring our students back to a frustration level. We know that we cannot hit the gas and start running right away. Our students have been out of the building for 6 months. Routines will be off. We have to build those back up again. And so we'll slowly be building into that process. Homework at the beginning will be limited to core reading and math as we begin to slowly bring the kids back up into speed and back into those routines so that they are not hitting a frustration point and becoming upset about coming to school. So that's a factor too as we begin to prepare and to welcome and open the doors, welcome our students. Finally, our nurse's office. We hope to have very limited impact in the nurse's office this year. But one of the things that we would hope that you can communicate to your children is that it's really important this year not to cry wolf. And really, if they're not really feeling sick, they have to be honest about their symptoms or how they're feeling. And so we will try to encourage less visits to the nurse's office if possible, and we'll try to be able to provide bandages and water and ice packs in the classrooms. The less cross-contamination we can have between children passing each other in the hallway or meeting in the nurse's office, the better. And so we will be trying to do a lot of talking through experiences or symptoms in the classroom before we send up to the nurse. We just want to make you aware of that. We have students who may feel bad for a little while but are fine, within 15 minutes or after a conversation with the teacher. We're going to try some of that first before we begin to bring students down to the nurse and send people home that really would have to be highly identified as COVID symptoms to do that. So we'll be doing that as well. And so conversations with your children about when they come back, making sure that if they really aren't feeling well, they have to be very honest with their teachers about their symptoms. That would be very helpful. Also reminding students that keeping their mask on is really crucial for everybody to make sure that their teachers stay healthy, make sure that their classmates stay healthy, and that we are being respectful and following our teachers' directions. I think it's going to be great. We have a long track record of that happening, and so we think we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful school year and a great experience. I hope you feel the same way. I hope you find our videos very informative. I hope you find our syllabuses from the teachers that will be helpful for you. We will keep those posted on the school website so you can refer to those at any point. And please visit our arrival and dismissal videos also in this email, and also visit the form next to my video so that you can see what the process is in the event that a child were to show symptoms of COVID. Thank you again. Have a wonderful evening. We are very excited to open the doors on Thursday and Friday and then start our full week of school on Monday. Thanks again. Have a great night.